with the use of MMAjunkie Radio and SiriusXM satellite radio technology. MMAjunkie Radio. Commence transmission.
Just barely.
Live from MMAjunkie Radio HQ in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas,
up,
Nevada.
But I can still hear an echo.
Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Go.
From the fight capital of the world, inside the beautiful Mandalay Bay Racing Sportsbook, you are listening to the MMA Radio Show. I'm your host, Gorgeous George. With me, as always, is the devious and dastardly Goes. Our co-host, back east, handling all the producing duties. Today, it's going to be Danny. What's up, Danny?
How's it going?
Good, and you?
I'm doing pretty good. How was your Super Bowl weekend?
It was good. It was good. But first of all, before we get started and really dive into this show recapping Super Bowl 51, and of course, because we're MMAjunkie Radio, UFC Fight Night 104, I just want to let everybody know, at the last minute, we encountered some technical glitches. So Goes is working on those right now, but it looks like, I'd love to get feed on Facebook. Can y'all hear us? Just making sure here. And okay, apparently you might be able to hear us in mono, but not stereo. Welcome, Goes. You there?
I'm here.
Okay, you want to switch back? We're going to switch our mics. This will be half a second.
Do you want me to keep talking then? This is the talking mic segment where you guys just fumble around with your mics and I try to talk over the sound.
Hi, Danny.
Here we are.
Hi.
All right. Why is that, Goes, that we're only in mono and not stereo?
I don't know. I think something was tweaked here, maybe.
Yeah, we have we lent our studio out on Thursday and Friday to another morning show, and I'm telling you, there's about 100 knobs, buttons, levers that can be manipulated over here. We haven't touched anything since 2009. Once everything got set, they told us, leave it, don't move it. And we really haven't. But every once in a while, they ask us if a show can come in and do their thing, and we say, all right, it's cool. We always request that there's a sound engineer here. Sound engineer does like a fucking 5-minute cameo, says they're good to go, and leave. And I'm telling you, man, all it takes is one little switch or turn of the dial, and we're fucked. So we're in mono and not stereo.
I mean,
what does that mean, by the way, mono and stereo?
See how you only hear out of one ear?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah, you could still hear it.
That's the whole difference between mono and stereo?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, I can live with that.
Yeah.
But the audio is the same for anyone that's listening?
Yeah.
So
no, they hear the same thing as us.
Oh, they only hear it on one side.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I don't know. I guess.
Don't worry about it.
Give it a
Just do
shot.
the show. It's
Yeah,
normal.
I'll just do the show. Miesha Tate's going to join us here in studio, and she's going to be a guest of ours. A co-host of ours for the day, but she is running a few minutes late. So she'll be here, and we will be, rapping with her and talking to her about everything that's going on in her career. She's now, I think, a fixture or about to become a regular fixture on Fox Sports. Hosting viewing parties. Goes, I almost went out there. She's hosting viewing parties here in Las Vegas. She did one for Super Bowl 51. And she's coaching. She went to Combate Americas Diez down in Mexico City about 2 weeks ago, and she cornered a teammate of hers, Nicodeli. Hopefully I said her name right. So she's still being active within the sport of mixed martial arts, and I think she's a great, actually, commentator for fights. She used to do her thing back at Invicta, but it looks like Julie Kedzie, the matchmaker, is now also the color commentator. So I don't know if she'll ever make it back there, but she's got a good hold of what's going on in women's MMA. And there were some women's MMA on display at UFC Fight Night 104, so we'll talk to her about that. So it's going to be a fun show. I invite you all to call in, 866-522-2846. That's the number to call in, and we'll talk, man. We'll talk about everything. Can we just talk to Miesha already, according to Tanya Snyder? No, fool, because she's not here yet. She's running late. That's why we can't talk to her. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking. Kazem said, you guys didn't get Miesha Uber? No. She lives really close to the studio, actually, so she's on her way. Relax. 866-522-2846. Now, this past weekend, the Korean Zombie did his thing over at UFC Fight Night 104. Congratulations to the Korean Zombie, who I think we were working on, give or take, a month or two, 3-year layoff. 2 of them because of a commitment to military obligation. In South Korea they have that, and it was his turn to serve, and he did it. And the year prior to, he didn't fight because of injury, but it was basically about a over 3-year layoff, and he came back and starched Dennis Bermudez, one of my favorite fighters. I like Dennis Bermudez. I can't explain it. I can, actually. 4-ounce gloves. I tell everybody, 4-ounce gloves changes the complexion of almost every fight. I did tweet. No, I texted my buddies as the fight was happening. I don't like that his hands are low. Or maybe I did tweet it. I don't know. I'm all over the place on fight day. But I didn't like that his hands were low. I just think that's careless. In MMA, it's careless. You have to have your hands up to protect your chin at all times, up until the point where you're exhausted and you can't do it. And hopefully by then your opponent's exhausted. But maybe by then you've bagged 2 rounds or who knows what. But you just can't do it. And he did it. And he paid, man. Chan Sung Jung is taller. He's got more reach. And he was able to clip him with an uppercut. Finished him off. Some said that Herb Dean stopped it too early. You know me. I have the threshold of let them go as long as possible. But I can accept them. I can accept them when they happen. And I thought he probably saw enough from the uppercut. And Bermudez kind of fallen back. Enough for him to say he's done. There was a couple follow-up punches. Granted, Bermudez did grab Herb for a single, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, that's the reaction of whoever's there. You're going to try and grab onto something. So he was out, and that was that. Chan Sung Jung knocked out Dennis Bermudez after a 3-year layoff in round 1 of UFC Fight Night 104. And I want to welcome former UFC bantamweight champion, the delightful and lovely Miesha Tate. Hi, Miesha.
Oh, hi, how's it going?
Good, and you?
Good. What'd you guys think of the game?
Yeah.
Talking about that yet?
Nuts.
It's funny because I started off talking a little Super Bowl. I go, it is MMAjunkie, so let me start throwing some of that out. But that was an awesome game.
That was a good game either way. I was
Yeah.
going for the Falcons just because I'm still bitter at the Patriots for beating us in the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
The Seahawks.
Yeah, the Seahawks. But
What a comeback.
no, that was
What an
that was
upset.
amazing though. You can't even be mad at that. I mean, that was pretty epic.
Better comeback. The Patriots being down 25 or Korean Zombie after 3.5 years beating a top 10 guy.
I think
Yeah.
the
Just for the
Patriots-
weekend.
The Patriots were nuts, man.
I feel like that reminds me of when Dominic Cruz came back after all his knee injuries and who did he beat? He beat
Takeya Mizugaki.
Yeah, Takei Mizugaki. Like he just looked so. I
Starched
think
him,
nobody
too.
expected him to come back like that. You know, and I think in this situation too, I think Jung was a big underdog. Everyone thought that Dennis was gonna,
Yeah.
was gonna beat him for sure. Maybe not walk through, but definitely, I think everyone thought he was gonna beat him.
Watching Super Bowl was weird for me because I'm with you. I wanted the Falcons to win. But halfway through, you sit around and you go, wow, I wish this was competitive.
Uh-huh.
So then Patriots score a little bit, and you get a little happy because the game's getting competitive.
Yeah.
But you didn't want it to go that far.
Exactly. I'm like, okay,
Those
wait,
ups and
pump
downs.
the brakes. You guys are coming back too fast.
How many Super Bowls have you been to? Just the one? Or
Just
two?
one. Just one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that experience like?
You been?
No.
No? Oh, it was crazy. I mean, obviously we were up. I thought we were going to win. It was kind of like bittersweet because it was really, really cool to be there and the whole experience. And I really thought that we had it. We were going to win. And then when we messed up and threw the ball and it got intercepted, it was just like, it just got wrenching. But it was a really cool experience. I just wish we could have walked out of there with our wins and our heads held high,
No, I hear you. I've been to an NFC championship, but I've never been to a Super Bowl. I've been to a World Series and an NBA championship and a World Cup, but never Super Bowl.
Yeah,
And it's
people
bucket
are-
list for me.
I mean, into it. It was pretty cool. It was in Arizona, so it was close. That was nice.
Definitely. Well, congratulations to the New England Patriots. I guess we've yet to say that part. They did defeat the Atlanta Falcons yesterday in Super Bowl 51. One of the best Super Bowls ever, probably the greatest comeback ever.
Mm-hmm.
And Belichick and Brady, it's 5 rings each. I think Belichick may have one more or 2 more with coaching through the Giants, if I'm not mistaken. But for Brady, it's 5. And that's just, amazing, man. 400 yards plus passing. Holy
They're
crap.
so
Crazy.
close to not having some of those, though.
Well, they're this close to losing
Split-
that one.
split
They're
seconds,
that
right?
close to losing the Seattle one.
Uh-huh.
So they could be 3-4, but they're not. They're 5-2, at least through Brady's run. And then some would say, well, we were this close to winning the Giant games too.
Yeah. But
They
it
could be
doesn't matter
7-0.
how close you are.
Yeah, it's
winning
like,
is
what
winning
happened?
and losing is losing at the end of the day. You know.
Yeah.
At least he's ugly, right?
And doesn't have a hot wife to come home to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they kept showing Giselle up there. I mean, I don't know what this. My team sucks. I don't know what to say. I was just watching. I had some bets laid out, and
Who's your team?
49ers.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Why do I figure to look like a 49ers fan?
I don't know.
Because
You
said
just,
your team sucks.
Yeah, like that.
Well, George sucks. He probably has a team that sucks.
Like when someone says my team sucks, immediately the 49ers come to my mind.
Right?
Damn.
You're that new team now. That's you.
Thanks for stopping by, Miesha. All right. So anyway, Super Bowl. Anything else you want to share about that, or?
You know what I thought was interesting? A lot of people like to talk about the Super Bowl ads. Here at Mandalay Bay, it was completely packed. And people went nuts 2 times. One was the commercial about the immigrants. But the other one was that Stranger Things. Do you watch that, Miesha?
No.
Oh, man. People went nuts over here for that.
The commercial.
The trailer.
So I was at Sapphire. I hosted a party there, and there wasn't very often that we could hear the commercials.
No?
So it kind of, I always look forward to the commercials, but there was some parts, but for the most part, it was like music and, you know, it's that kind of atmosphere there. So
What'd you think of halftime Super Bowl?
I liked it. I like Lady Gaga. I think she's interesting and she's so unique. You know, she's just
I didn't like her
I thought it was
outfit
good.
though.
You didn't?
No, I think it just. I don't know. It didn't look good
Didn't
on her.
flatter her.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe.
It's
Maybe
probably
it was the
'cause-
harnesses or
yeah.
some, but
I
you know who
think
she
that's-
looked like? Oh, this is bad, but I'll say it. I started to say it, so I'll just say it. It almost looked like the Fabulous Moolah back in the day, like just an outfit you would throw on her. Like, what the hell's this? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
but
like-
Lady
it's-
Gaga did wear a meat dress, so
That's true.
I mean,
A meat dress?
she wore
I
a
didn't hear
dress,
that part.
dress made out of raw meat.
To
never saw
an
that?
awards.
No, I'm talking
award
about-
Yeah,
thing,
like
right?
to an awards.
Oh, not on Super Bowl. So
No.
Oh, okay. I was
no,
gonna
no,
say,
no,
how did I
I'm just
miss
saying-
that?
No. I mean, that's just kind of, you know, she wears interesting things. But I think it was because she had to, like, flip through the air. So I think her outfit was actually, like, more than just an outfit. It was actually made to, like, support her weight as she went through the air so she didn't get a wedgie and stuff, you know.
Mhm.
Like Katy Perry did it a few years ago, and I thought all her costumes were spot on.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
Didn't work out. All right. The commercials though, you were down or you weren't too down?
Well, I'm used to them being real funny.
Mm-hmm.
And this year it had like a different tone to it.
Couple political statements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of movies and stuff like that.
Movies are.
But I
You were-
do like that some
you were-
companies took the stance of
Yeah.
we're not going to do a Super Bowl ad and take that $8 million and give it to our employees, give them days
They're
off,
giving
stuff like
bonuses.
that. That
to
was
their
pretty
employees
cool. It was like
rather
3 companies that did that.
rather than advertise on Super Bowl.
Who's they? Oh, they're.
Some of the normal companies that usually come in and do their
Oh, that's cool.
thing. Yeah.
Those are really expensive commercials.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
pretty crazy. A lot of people look forward to them, but still, is it worth that? I don't know.
Did you know that you're someone's secret wife? Have you ever heard that before?
Huh?
You've heard like the I Loves Yous and Marry Me's and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But that was a good one.
What?
Richard Graham says Misha's his secret wife.
What?
What does that
Facebook.
mean?
He says he thinks you're
The-
hot and
Oh, okay.
probably wishes you were his wife. But yeah.
Okay. I'm like, 'cause there's definitely no secret wifeness going on in my life.
How often do the fans come at you like that?
Pretty often, you know, but yeah, I think they're just being silly for the most part, and they maybe that, you know, I might be like their Woman Crush Wednesday every once in a while, but it's all nice. It's a compliment,
Mhm.
you know.
Do you have a celebrity crush?
Do I have a celebrity crush?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of hot celebrities, of course. Why are you guys asking this? Because Valentine's Day is coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I'm really bad with remembering people's names. You guys remember that about
You remember
me,
like posters on your wall when you were a kid or something?
right? No.
No. What about you, George?
I think that's more of a boy
But it was guys though.
Of boys?
Oh, you know what? I guess the first
Well-
one that I said wow was Farrah Fawcett.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
back in
beautiful.
the day.
No, I think it's more common for boys to do that than girls. Is what
Really?
I'm saying. I think
I
so.
thought little girls have like Justin Bieber all over their walls and
Maybe
stuff.
now, but I don't.
Jonas
I feel like
Brothers.
back then, I don't know.
Well, who's your celebrity crush though? You never told us.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few of them actually. Let me think. I think that who's the guy of the 300? Oh, what's his name? on.
Gerard something,
yes,
right?
Butler. Gerard Butler. Yeah, he's really handsome.
Ever met him?
I have, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him after.
Did you inform
one
him
of
he
my
was your
fights.
secret husband or anything like that?
No, I didn't.
No?
I
Okay.
just was like, I didn't say anything. But
Hug
he's
or
really
shake of the
handsome.
hand?
No, I actually gave him a hug. It was like a handshake to a hug.
Yeah.
I never get that right. Every time I do this, somebody goes like that. And
Yeah.
then when I do this, they go like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of do like one of these, like,
Oh, that's a good idea.
you know, like either way. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the handshake to the hug.
And what was that like? Was it just quick hello or did you chat?
I
Was
chatted
he
with
a
him
cool
for
guy?
a minute. Yeah, he's a really cool guy. He's super nice and yeah, really down to earth. Like you wouldn't. I mean, he was just wearing like a baseball cap and just dressed totally casual. It just wasn't all like movie made up, which I think is more attractive. You know, when someone's not walking around with their chest puffed out, like, oh, I'm the shit. You know, like he's just a really cool, down to earth guy.
Give us one more and then we'll
Channing
stop
Tatum.
bugging. Oh, that was quick.
Oh.
Yeah, he's hot. I mean, hello.
Ever met him?
Yes, I met him at a Strikeforce event way back in the day.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, him and his beautiful
You were
wife.
fighting or
his
you were
beautiful wife.
at the event as a fan?
I was at the event as a fan. I
Okay.
think he's friends with, maybe friends with Kung Lee. I think Kung Lee was maybe
think you're
fighting that
right.
night. Yeah, so I think that's why he was there, if I remember correctly.
And then tell me about fans. Like, you know, sometimes we'll have the Octagon girls here and they'll tell us like, wow, some of them are really, really touchy and gropey. And have you had that type of experience?
Yeah, like a couple times, like bump their hand up on like my hip or whatever. Like, buddy, your hand's a little
Starting
low.
to get in the
you know
booty
what I
territory?
mean? Yeah, it's like it's below the belt line. Like, no.
And
So
so you
it's
actually
fine.
lifted.
Yeah.
Okay. But other than that, no one's been out of line or nothing.
Not really, actually. I think that they're maybe a little bit scared of me. Maybe. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm intimidating or something. But they're pretty cool for the most part. And I always have, like, security around to make sure that they're not being, you know.
Now, a lot of times I'll see fighters say, got a bunch of stuff in the mail. We'll be sending it out soon. I think I've even seen you do that. What kind of stuff do you get?
I get a lot of gifts, actually. It's really, I mean, it's pretty cool. When I do my signings, people will bring me cupcakes. They'll bring me cupcake necklaces. They'll bring me all kinds of stuff. Also, a lot of copies of the pictures that they're asking me to sign. They'll give me copies of that. And actually, just recently, I opened...
Sign this, and here's your own copy of it?
Well, not a picture of them, but excuse me. So let's say it's the first time we've met, and they bring a copy of me fighting, and they want me to sign that. Then they'll have a duplicate that they'll just give to me.
Oh, okay. That's
Which
cool.
is, yeah, it's really nice because I never have time to print my own pictures, so I definitely appreciate that. Especially when they're like that cool metallic. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
All right, and then you said recently something I cut
Oh
you off,
yeah,
sorry.
so recently in the mail, I just opened something that was. I was talking about how much I love cheese, and I love cheese and crackers, or cheese and crackers like apricot jelly, you know, like stuff like that. So one of my fans had heard that, and her mom told her to send out her favorite packet of crackers that she likes to use with the brie cheese, and this instructions on like what jelly to go and get. So I got like a package of crackers because someone was like, oh, I know that you really like cheese, and these are like the best crackers in the world.
That was
I haven't had a
nice.
chance to try them yet, but it's kind of cool. Like, it was really thoughtful that someone actually noticed that and thought, hey, I want to share, you know, my experience with that. That was kind of neat.
Very cool.
Yeah, and they
That is
didn't
a cool
ask for
gift.
anything back either. They didn't ask, like, you know, for a reply or for a photo back or nothing. They just literally sent me these crackers that they obviously think are the best.
What's the most obnoxious thing somebody's ever done in terms of like, hey, sign 50 of these, or where you
Yeah.
can just tell, oh my God, they're going on eBay and
Yeah,
this is a business guy.
I tell them
Or
no
gal.
now. I'm like, I'm not signing more than 4. Like, that's like my cap number. But yeah, no, I've had that before. And back when you didn't used to think about it, I'm sitting there signing. I'm like, my gosh, how many family members do they have?
You just sign Miesha Tate, you personalize them.
It just depends. It depends if I'm in a hurry. I mean, all the kind of, I try to personalize them, but I know that they can take that off too. So, you know,
Oh, they can?
yeah, like they
Do
can.
you
Like
use
there's
this
a,
thing to rub it off,
Off
Like
the
a-
Sharpie?
like a wipe. It's a certain wipe.
Oh.
so it's kind of interesting. But it's supposed to take the gloss off the photo in that spot, though, I think. So you can kind of tell, like if you hold it up to the light, that's been removed. But
What's the most somebody's ever sold something of yours that you've seen? I hear some athletes follow up and check and...
oh yeah, I wouldn't know an exact number, but I remember something going for quite a bit more than I would have expected it to.
Really?
Yeah, like a little card or a photo or something. Like, dang, people are making money. Like, can I have a percentage of that?
That's crazy.
I will tell you something that really grosses me out, though, in signings is when, like, tall, sweaty guys come and then they put their arm over you, and then your armpit, their armpit goes on your shoulder, and it's like wet and it smells.
So it's tank top guys or even sweaty guys with a shirt?
All of the above. Sometimes they just pit through their like shirt, and then they're like, hey, and I'm like, hey, yeah. So like I have this like trick now where I put my arm over the top so that they can't they can't. I'm like, I'll give you the underhook, you know. I'm so nice, I'll give you the underhook. But no, it's gross. It's like, oh, and then it stings, and you can't, like, there's nothing you can do besides take your shirt and wash it and take a shower and stuff. So.
Wouldn't you be embarrassed if you were that guy? Like,
well, that's
I
what
would be
I
a
would
mummy.
think. I've literally had my shoulder like wet. I'm like, how do you not know? Like, why would you do that? You know?
And you march through, or do you do a costume change?
What?
Because if your shirt's wet with his pit juice, that would drive me crazy.
I can't. Like, I'm just in the middle of signing. I don't have anything else to wear.
Pit juice there for about an hour or so till you can break away?
Yeah, I've tried.
All right. Is that the end of the shirt, or do you wash it?
Oh, usually it's just like, if it's gross enough, it's just going away. I have plenty of clothes. Goodbye.
What country do you like to engage fans the most? Do you seem to have a country that just has a bigger Miesha Tate following than others?
I really enjoyed when I was down in Australia, but maybe it's because they talk funny, and I like that. It's like everything's more humorous when they say it. So I really enjoyed that. Enjoyed Australia. And I met some really cool fans in Singapore, and one definitely in the Philippines, because they're just so sweet. Like, they're so appreciative that you're there, and it just makes their whole day, you can tell. And you made our day by being here today. Oh, well, thank you guys. You guys made my day for inviting me here today.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
Cool. Okay. All right. So I was telling the listeners that I really love the way you've, I guess, covered MMA, women's MMA over the years. I thought you were a great color commentator at Invicta. It's too bad you're not doing that anymore, because I thought you had a good handle on just women's MMA, the history of women's MMA. And since there's a couple here, I do want to talk about that. But the one last thing was just Sapphire, just to put that to bed, you are you going to be like a regular host of viewing parties there, or is this just you pop in from time to time?
It's kind of my place. Like, they take really good care of me, and they're really nice there, you know. So I like being able to throw events there. So yeah, I'll be there periodically. I've done like birthday stuff there before at the pool and stuff. My birthday's in summer, so I really like hosting out at the pool. I think that's really fun. But they have an incredible room that's for viewing. It's like separate of like the actual gentleman's club part, and it's got screens.
It's a gentleman's club? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I have to check this place out.
It's really cool, actually. It has like big screen TVs, and then TVs all on the side, and usually it's catered. There's like food and food and drinks and stuff. And I think you pay just like a flat fee. I think it was like $100, $150 or something for the
Heard you met Nikki Benz there.
I did, yeah. We actually hung out last night. She's a really cool girl. She's very smart.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah. Definitely, I'm a fan of her work.
Yeah.
What's your favorite work of hers, George?
No, just her Instagram follows. I don't know what she really does, but yeah. What does she do?
You don't know what she really does? Really? Oh, well, she used to
make a model, right, or something like that?
No, she used to make adult movies.
No way.
Yeah, she used to.
I know who that is.
Yeah, she used to. I think she just stopped doing that. She said in December, so she's kind of moving on from that. But I mean, she does a lot of things. She's actually really, really smart, and
yeah, so she was like one of the all-timers.
Yeah, she does modeling and endorsements, and she was doing an appearance there last night also. So, but really
two hosts.
Yeah, me and her.
Oh, okay.
We're hosting it together.
Did they have that halftime thing where all the girls invade that room and do the quick 1 minute lap dance?
Yeah.
How many did you get?
I didn't get any. I never get any. Yeah. I don't know.
Wave them down or anything? Or,
no.
Or they're not allowed to lap dance the host?
I don't know if they're. I'm sure they're allowed to. Of course, they're probably allowed to.
If they did it, would you stop them and say that's inappropriate, or would you say, yeah, let's do this?
No, I just let them go make money. Like I'm not personally one to spend money at strip clubs, really. So
But what if they say this one's on me?
Still, it's not really my thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to waste your time. Go make your money.
I hear you. All right. UFC 104. How about we covered Chan Sung Jung and Dennis Bermudez, Felice Herrig and Alexa Grasso. What'd you think of that fight?
Well, I really thought Alexa Grasso failed to show up for that fight. Like, she is amazing. I remember watching her really dismantle Jodie Escobar in Invicta, and she looked so good and so aggressive, and her hand speed is so good, and she just did not pull the trigger once in that fight. She looked real scared, and
Her third round was somewhat pretty good, but you're right, nothing like what we've seen before.
No, nothing like what we've seen before, and so I thought Felice looked pretty good. She showed up. She looked like she was really confident. She looked very focused. But I think that they should have gone a little bit more at each other. I think at 115 pounds, you really have to go, in order to get the finish. And Felice looked good. She showed up. She bullied Alexa around the cage, and I did not expect
takedowns, mixed it up for her, and I don't know that I agreed with 30-27. I thought Grasso for sure took the last round,
wrong.
And I knew round one was close, so I really was expecting 29-28 either girl, but I felt like they'd give it to Felice.
Do you remember when Rose Namajunas and Paige Van Zandt fought over here at the Chelsea?
Yeah.
Well, after that fight, you had that feeling of, okay, now we know where Paige is. She has to go back and fix a lot of things. I didn't get that feeling from Alexa Grasso. I feel like if they were to fight 10 times, they'd probably split. I think it's probably a good lesson for her. But you're right. I think she didn't pull the trigger enough.
Needs more aggression.
It's not. You don't have to reinvent the wheel with her. I think just tighten a few screws and she'll be back.
For sure. I hope she just realizes that her old way that got her there, that why she was 9-0 coming into that fight, is her forward pressure, her aggression, her hand speed, and really just going. She didn't go in this fight. Not really.
And here's the other thing. Not only do you have to win nowadays, but win and impress. You know what I mean? You have to have these statement wins. Because let's say Andrade had laid an egg, and let's say maybe she got a controversial win, or just they had a boring fight, which they didn't, by the way. But let's say they did. Well, now 9-0 Alexa Grasso could have been 10-0 with a key win over Herrig. And you just never know how the UFC, with their matchmaking, sometimes they'll just, make you hop over the number one contender, and it's now your moment, because they want to market Mexico, and Grasso would be perfect for that. She speaks English, she speaks Spanish, so she really could have had a moment where maybe she would have leapfrogged Andrade, either if Andrade lost or didn't impress. So I'm telling you, it's so important when you have that stage to win and win impressively.
I agree, and that's what was kind of like heartbreaking in the whole thing, watching her, because I wanted to see her do well. Just because I think she's talented, and I really think she has a bright future, and I feel like she let that undefeated record just kind of barely slip through her fingers. I really think she could have done more to prove that she wanted that fight, but it could have just been an off night for her, so I hope she learns from it and comes back better.
Yep. All right, we're going to take this first break. You're listening to MMAjunkie Radio on SiriusXM Rush 93. We have Miesha Tate in the house. If you want to call in and chat some fights or some Super Bowl, let's do it. 866-522-2846, and we'll definitely get to Andrade and Hill, which was an awesome fight. I loved it. We'll be right back after this break.
I get paid to say things in this cool voice, and they get paid to be lame. Here are Gorgeous George and Goes.
Now that another thrilling season on the field is over, the business season in the NFL is just getting started. Stay up to date on the latest transactions from all 32 NFL teams as they begin shaping their rosters into Super Bowl contenders. Football season never ends on NFL Radio, Channel 88, and on the SiriusXM app. We got Miesha Tate in studio here with us, and we're going to dive into the phone calls, but I do want to give a shout-out to Andrew Simon and Scott Zur for the invite out to Lion Fight 34, which took place at the Tropicana right across the street. High-level Muay Thai, man. It was a blast. And we saw some violence on Friday, right?
Great fights. Every single one of them was
shit,
delivered.
Elbows and knees, cracking skulls. You could hear it. I was like, oh.
Where was this at?
At the Trop right across the street.
Oh, all striking?
All
Muay Thai,
Muay Thai, yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Anthony Njokuani, the former WEC and UFC fighter.
Okay.
He's 22-0 in Muay Thai. Hadn't fought Muay Thai in 9 years and went in there and dusted off some cat. So he's 23-0. That's pretty impressive to step away from a sport you're 22-0 in and then do the run in MMA and then come back years later and still have something to show. You know?
Absolutely. A lot of dedication. It's a long time.
Yeah. And so the winners there were, in the main event, it was Regan Irsol versus DeWitt Pratt, and Irsol defended his title. And then we had Iman Barlow, that's the Pretty Killer, versus Mayim Uslu, and the Pretty Killer, Barlow, held on to her belt. So both champions held on to their belts. Enjo Kwani got a win. The Peruvian, Gabriel El Nino Mazzetti, may have gotten the benefit of some
perhaps
off judging there because he's a Peruvian. I was rooting for him, but Nick Golden Boy Chastain was tough that night. It was a great fight, man. Seriously, good times. I keep telling you, don't miss a beat on boxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, and all the other sports and martial arts that encompass mixed martial arts. Do you have anything that's a favorite of yours outside of mixed martial arts, like just wrestling or just Muay Thai or just Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that you like to attend or watch as a fan?
I love watching Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling, both. Obviously, I love watching striking too, though, so all of it. But if I had to pick one to go watch, it would be Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if you want to join on the party with the phone calls, it's 866-522-2846. We'll start off with Rick from Alaska. What's up, Rick?
Hey, guys, I got a question for Miesha, then I got a random Netflix recommendation since you guys mentioned Stranger Things earlier. First, I want to say hi to Miesha. My girlfriend Annie and myself are really big fans.
Hi.
And, hey, of course we're happy for you. You're able to, retire on your own terms and all that, but we're selfishly hoping you come back now that there's a 145 division. And we maybe could see a Holly Holm versus Miesha Tate, rematch, or is that just false hope from fans?
Well, at this point, it's not even on the radar, so I can't say that will probably happen because I don't think that it will. But I'm really happy in the retirement. Honestly, I've just been really enjoying myself and figuring out a little bit more about who I am beyond Miesha the fighter, and it's been a very interesting process, so I'm really enjoying that, and I don't have any plans to come back or even any desire to want to, so unless that drastically changes, I don't see myself going back in there. It's an all or none sport. It's got to be 110% or not at all for me, so unless, like I said, something makes me want to just get back in there like a crazy person, then I won't be.
Cool, so it's not impossible though.
Nothing's
There's
impossible.
A chance that Miesha Tate. Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
it's like on Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, good. And I wanted to, since you guys mentioned the Netflix show real fast, there's a new show out on Netflix called Team Foxcatcher. I don't know if you guys saw the Foxcatcher movie about wrestling, of course.
Yeah,
I'm sure you
Mark Schultz, right?
saw that. Yeah, the documentary, though, that Netflix just released is incredible. And it kind of sparks it through some of the fictitious things of the movie and gets down to the heat of it all. And it's kind of cool. Awesome. I just watched it last night.
So wait, the documentary is different from the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, then I'm in. I love the movie.
Yeah, because I guess the brothers never actually were at Foxcatcher at the same time, and in the movie they are. And there's a couple other things that the movie doesn't like. The movie and the documentary are kind of made by the same people, but it's kind of just, it adds to what you already know, and it shows footage of DuPont getting arrested and everything like that. It's really, and it talks a lot about wrestling, Miesha. I mean, the first 20 minutes is just about how America wasn't doing well in the Olympics in the 80s and what Foxcatcher meant. I didn't know any of that. So as a wrestling person, I'm sure you could.
Yeah, I will look into that. That sounds awesome. Sounds like a really good show.
So, yeah, absolutely. Well, anyways, hoping you come back. Thanks for coming on the show, Miesha. Me and my girlfriend Annie, big fans, and look forward to seeing you no matter what you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was actually Mark Schultz and David Schultz. Thanks for the call, Rick. David Schultz is the wrestler that got killed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not Mark Schultz. Yeah, Mark Schultz is the one that competed in the UFC.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, all right, sorry, I flubbed that up. Yeah, the Foxcatcher was a really, really good movie.
Oh, yeah.
Sad, man. You know, that it went down like that. But, all right, I wrote it down. Netflix.
Yeah, I need to write that down, too, before I leave.
Russell from New Brunswick, Canada. What's up, Russell?
First of all, I just wanted to say I'm a Patriots fan, and I was so depressed that after halftime, I unfortunately went to bed.
What? That's a...
Yeah.
I bet you're kidding yourself.
Just a bit. And second, I'd like to say anyone that sees Miesha in person, give her some space. She's very beautiful, and someone coming from where I come from, where every woman looks like Gabriel Gonzaga, you just got to give her that space.
Where are you from?
From New Brunswick, Canada.
Lastly,
Yeah, I'm not going there.
Oh, there are some hairy women here.
Really?
And last, yeah. I'm not.
He
Brad
sounds
Pitt
about
myself,
as depressed about that as he is about going to bed last night before the Super.
Yeah, go back to that. So when you woke up, were you like, "What the fuck?" I mean, like, what was your reaction?
Well, I logged into Facebook. I wasn't even gonna go check the score, and I saw my friend posting tie game. Wow, and I'm like, no fucking way. And when I just clicked everything, I've been watching the NFL Network the whole morning. I even watched the whole game from halftime online, just to catch up to. But I was very depressed.
Wow.
I have a story about that, actually. I was at a game where the Green Bay Packers and the Seahawks were playing for the playoffs, and the Seahawks were so far down. I don't remember exactly the score, but I mean, it was pretty unrealistic that they were going to come back. Yeah. That's the year that we went to Super Bowl. Yeah. So, anyways, I was there in attendance live for that game, and the stadium started to disappear. Like, people started leaving, and there was no re-entry. And when we started coming back, and they heard the screams, and they're getting the text messages, like, people were so pissed because it was one of the most epic games.
Did you exit the stadium?
It was literally no, I didn't.
You were there the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, I wasn't gonna leave. I was like getting pissed off that other people were leaving. I was like, this is when they need us to yell the most. Like, come on, you guys. Like, but anyways, it's funny. Like, you never know. Like, it's not over till it's over.
Oh yeah. And I wanted to know for you guys just chime in. Who do you think is going to win between Stipe and Junior? That's very exciting.
Oh, wow. That's a good
tough.
question. That's a rematch of a fight they had a few years ago where Junior won. And I would say Stipe's improved a lot since then. And Junior looked great in his last fight against Rothwell. But then again, the one against Alistair, he didn't look good. So it depends what Junior's showing up versus the consistent Stipe that's showing up. I would side with Stipe in this one, but that's going to be a close one, man.
I go with Stipe, even if the good Junior does show up.
Yeah.
I think Stipe's improved so much since that last
He
fight that
has. He's
it may
got
be
very polished boxing, and so does Junior, but he's got that wrestling difference, and now he's just got that champion swagger, you know what I mean? So I think I side with Stipe.
Yeah.
How about Miesha Tate?
I'm kind of thinking so too. He's just got a lot of momentum. He's really confident, but he still just seems hungry. You know, sometimes people get at the top and they seem to like lose it or whatever, but he just seems like he's finally hitting his stride and everything's making sense. And as much as I like Junior and I'm a fan of his work, obviously, he just seems like he's hit sort of a wall. And I think that really intense training that they do there wears on the body, and it's like, it's good for a short duration, but you continue to train like that and you're constantly injured, you're constantly battling that kind of stuff, and it just wears on you, wears on your mentality, it wears on all the facets that make you a good fighter once the fight day comes. So I would think Stipe too.
All right, Russell.
All
Good
right.
stuff, man. Thanks for
You made
calling
my
in.
day. You made my day talking to you, Miesha. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye, Russell. All right, one more. It's Chasm from Toronto. What's up, Chasm?
Hey, Miesha, thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
I don't know what you say. I just wanted to call in and say hi to you, and also say thank you for everything and entertaining us fans. The end of your fight at UFC 186 is hands down my favorite MMA moment. Proud to be your fan, and always will support you. Good luck in everything you will do next.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I always appreciate the fan support. So, thank you, and obviously appreciate you guys following me in my future endeavors. Just revamping my podcast too, if you guys are interested in that. Yeah, so
active over the weekend.
Yeah, so that all the future ones will have video incorporated as well. I was actually looking at your guys' setup here. I'm like, it looks kind of like mine, but minus the cage and the cool stuff in the background. But so that, and working with Fox Sports more as a broadcaster, and doing more ambassador stuff with the UFC. It's pretty interesting. So the fans have been so cool. Honestly, really, really cool. Like, I know that I've stepped away from the competitive side of the sport, and I kind of expected some backlash, or that like the fans weren't going to care anymore, but they have been ultra supportive. So I do appreciate that and enjoy that cold weather up there in Toronto. I'm not jealous of that at all.
Chasm, what you think of the fights this weekend?
I didn't really watch the fights this weekend, to be honest.
Oh, all right, no worries.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, before I go, Miesha, I have a question for you. This weekend we have the women's 45 division. But do you think there was really a need for this, or UFC should have went with 125 division? Because this weekend, Beck Rollins, she missed weight and she had some issues. And I think looking at her social media, she announced her retirement due to her weight cut issue as well, right? And before I go, special shout out to Josh for encouraging me to call in today. Thank you, bye.
Awesome. Thanks for calling in, Chasm.
So if it were me, I think a 125 makes a lot more sense, because there's some 135ers that are small and some that are dying to make the weight at 115, including the champ. She has a pretty tough cut. Claudia Gadelha has a pretty dang tough cut. It's really hard on the girls. So, it's unfortunate that we don't have something to bridge that gap.
Mm-hmm.
But the 145, it's unfortunate with the whole situation about Chris Cyborg, because I think they were really finally trying to build something around her, so that she doesn't have to cut so hard. But now, without her being there, I know Holly's a big, strong girl, and I know Jermaine is a big, strong girl, and perhaps they will do better at 145, but they have successfully made 135 every time they fought in the UFC. Therefore, you think they're doing well at 135 for the most part. So you have 235-pound women fighting for the first 145-pound title. It's kind of like,
and one coming off the 2 losses. It just doesn't look like it looks forced.
A little bit, yeah. So, and I just don't know but I'm all for the women getting more opportunities. So if it's 145 or nothing at all, then do the 145. But I personally think 125 is a thicker weight class, a thicker division, and it gives the girls a little bit of flux, to have that bridge. Like, the guys have the opportunity to go 125, 135, 145. They have all the bridge. There's no gap. And here, there's that big divide, so the girls kind of have to choose. They're too small for 135, so they've got to go all the way down to 115, which can be disastrous, I think, on their bodies.
All right, you're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. Give us a few minutes. We'll be right back. We have Miesha Tate in the house.
They are the stretch marks on the underbelly of the MMA community. But hey, stretch marks are the new tats. They are Gorgeous George and Goes.
Damn.
All right.
That song scared the shit out of me. How about
It
you
sure
guys?
did, man. That volume.
There
came
was
in
no
loud.
easing into that. It was like, bam.
No. No
All right.
drummer going 1, 2.
If
1,
I
2, 3,
wasn't
4,
awake
nothing.
before, I am
Holy
now.
crap.
Did you raise the volume on our headphones?
I felt like
Can
mine
you lower
was
mine a little bit?
Yeah.
All right.
Way
Oh.
to go, Danny.
It sounded the same to me.
Danny picked the music today.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I don't mind the music. It's just that he blared it. Miesha, just to do a little bit of cleanup, 125. I felt like if something was going to draw you back to the sport, it would be if they announced 125. You've mentioned that to me before, I think in either scrums at the UFC offices or here maybe on the show or maybe just publicly, that you felt like you were always a 125er that moved up. However, in your second to last fight, I think the Amanda Nunes fight, you had a weight cut that was a rough weight cut, but you did make it. So after that, I was wondering, wow, I wonder if maybe she's just getting older. She wouldn't do that. So first of all, if they did open up 25, is that maybe something that would help you to consider coming back?
Well, no, because I don't want to cut that much weight and I don't want to diet that much anymore. So, no, I honestly would actually be more inclined to come back at 145, even though I'd be really small for that division. But I just am over the whole weight cutting thing. I don't enjoy it. And yeah, I used to be smaller, and then as I got older, I really filled out and got more muscle and all that stuff, So my typical walk around weight even now is 148 to 150-ish, maybe 151 on a really happy day. But so that's typical range for a 135er. I used to be I was 138 to 143. So I purposely tried to get bigger and do
Does
squats.
that mean less
and
cupcakes and stuff when you're in that area, that range?
what? Which one?
You said you used to be
smaller. No, I was just smaller. I just
okay.
was it wasn't a diet thing or anything. I also found out that my thyroid was running slow though for the Nunez fight. I didn't know that, so I think that was a big part of why the weight cut was harder, because I was dieting and I was it's just not coming down, really, and never dieted so hard in my life, so it really was frustrating the whole camp, and wasn't moving, and then I got that tested and they're like, oh yeah, we need to put you on thyroid medication, and that made a world of difference. So then my weight cut was fine. It wasn't hard at all after that.
And
the
then
next one was it was perfect.
Okay. So 45 if you ever did come back, or maybe 35, but probably 45. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
If you did come back?
Yeah, I just don't want to cut weight anymore at all. I just want to be just myself. Even if I'm only 5 pounds over I don't really care. 145. I used to be small for 135. I wouldn't mind being small for 145. If that was ever going to come to fruition,
And then I heard you tell Russell, it's not over till it's over. He's the gentleman that turned off the game at halftime, and boy, you embodied that, man. Echoing what Chasm said, that moment at UFC 196, you made a fan with him forever, but still, that comeback. I don't know that we've really had a chance to talk to you since then, because it's it's not a year yet, but you got really busy, obviously being a champ and all that.
Yeah.
But seriously, that was an awesome moment in 2016. That was an incredible.
I still haven't deleted it off my phone.
Incredible
One of those
comeback.
moments.
Thank you.
But I'll let you chime in on that, and we'll talk more about that because we're up against the clock. I see a caller from the UK. We'll get to him first. When we come back, it's the top of the hour, so it's a quick commercial and a sports update. And then we'll start off hour number 2. Alistair Overeem was going to be on today's show. He's been moved till tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have Alistair Overeem and one of the winners from UFC Fight Night 104, Felice Herrig. She'll also be on. So just a little rearranging there of the schedule. But we do have Miesha Tate here in studio with us. We'll keep talking UFC 104, Fight Night 104, and, of course, Super Bowl 51. We'll be right back after this break.
I'd make a lot more money than what I'm doing now. That was that. Alright, guys, coming up at 10.
Does that have to be something that happened over this last week?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could
no, if
slide.
you have a good one.
Okay.
You're Miesha Tate, for crying out loud. You can say
Do what I
whatever you want. Could be from 10 years ago. That you?
By the way, I don't think Felice likes me. So you know.
Living easy, living free. Season ticket on a one-way ride. Asking nothing, leave me be. Take your number, carry at my side. Don't need reason, don't need rhyme. Ain't nothing I'd rather do. Going down, party time. My friends are gonna be there too. I'm on the highway to hell. On the highway to hell. Highway to hell. I'm on the highway to hell. No stop signs.
All right, here we go. It's the second hour of the MMA Junkie Radio Show. Alfonso Berry from Chicago, I'm just cleaning up the Facebook chat, says, would you ever want to do a grappling competition against another opponent that you've already fought?
Yeah, I did. I grappled Jessica I
Well,
already.
I think he said another one. Sorry.
Oh,
We
yeah.
know that you did the one at Chael Sonnen,
For
Submission
sure,
Underground.
for sure. Yeah, actually, I think I'm going to start doing something similar myself, like throwing my own promotions.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, it's not really like.
You stacked some paper while you were fighting, didn't you?
Hey,
You got a new
I'm
house?
I'm trying to stay busy, so I never have to go back to do that 9 to 5. I'm staying on the grind. Yeah, no, I bought a new house here. Yeah,
I
I'm
heard
trying
it's
to be smart
a
with
big
investments.
house, too.
It is pretty big. It's on a little over half an acre. It's pretty centrally located, which is nice because you don't really find that in Vegas. I feel like the houses are always on top of each other. But I'm from the Pacific Northwest, so I appreciate some space.
And she goes, yeah, I saw those cameras, kind of like what I have. So, she's spending money on her podcast. It's back. It's on
Yes,
iTunes.
yes.
Subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
The Miesha Tate Show. Yeah, it'll be on YouTube.
I think I've seen you in a Range Rover or just some fat
Oh,
car.
That's from the Ultimate Fighter, right?
Yeah, it is from the Ultimate
Oh,
Fighter. Yeah,
okay.
they gave that to me. So that
But
was
you
pretty
have
cool.
been stacking some paper, right?
I'm trying.
Good
yeah,
for you.
for sure. Yeah.
If
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going to go out there and bleed and sweat and
Oh yeah, you gotta
get
you gotta make
choked
that
and
money, get paid.
all that stuff, that's crazy stuff you guys get into, man. Who knows if it takes years off your life. Although it does make you a well-conditioned athlete, too, so maybe it, whatever.
Yeah, it's a balance. I think there's like some downfall to it, and then there's some good things like staying in shape and being healthy.
Is that locally? What the stuff that you're thinking about doing? Like,
Actually, my first one I think I'm gonna hold in Washington.
yeah.
I'm
Grappling?
hoping like in an April. Yeah, I'm hoping in April. And then I do want to come down to Vegas. So yeah, there will be some shows down here. So
Men and women? Just women?
yeah, men and women both.
Very
Yeah.
cool. All right, so then the other thing is, one of the pioneers of MMA, Ensign Inoue, have you heard of him?
I have.
Yeah. He's actually listening, and he co-hosted with us not too long ago.
Oh.
He has these bracelets. I love plugging him because he's such a nice guy. DestinyForever.com.
Those are pretty.
He would like to make you a bracelet.
Really?
Cool.
Yeah. And by the way, I saw a note there at the top of his website. It says Ensign will be back at the Hawaiian Hilton Waikiki Beach Hotel from February 10th through the 22nd. So that's coming up, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then he does these, remember? And he also has those cool rash guards.
Mm-hmm. And his book is awesome. I've been reading his book. It's
Yeah.
really, really good.
So there he is. He says, I'd love to make you a bracelet,
It's
Miesha.
this blue one's really pretty.
Is it?
Kind of has that mother of pearl blue. That's
I
really
don't know if
pretty.
it's got an actual name or something, but I can pass that on to him.
Yeah, I
All
like
right.
that.
Also, do you feel like you may have missed out on the shampoo sponsorship while you were active?
For
That's
sure.
another question that comes out.
I feel like I should have had a hair sponsor like forever ago, but it never came about. So I have really thick hair, a lot of hair, and I recently, back in July, actually cut it a little bit, which is kind of nice. It's kind of refreshing because it was so hot, but growing it again a little bit. So
Do you have a
yes,
favorite one? Favorite shampoo? Is there one that's head and shoulders above the rest?
Head, shoulders above the rest. No pun intended, right? No, not really. I'm not like a brand snob when it comes to that stuff. I'm pretty relaxed with that. So it just whatever. I shop at Costco. I'm just like a normal person and buy whatever.
Just grab whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I used to do? I used to just grab the green.
Well,
Green had this look to it.
Oh, like Prel?
Yeah, like Prel or
Herbal Essence?
Well, my hair is so thick anyways. I only wash it like every 3-4 days because if you wash it every day, or like it gets dry and the roots break or the ends will break, and it's actually bad for your hair. So when I shampoo, I only shampoo around the scalp anyways. So I'm kind of and then condition. I only condition from like here down. So I have like this whole system.
Really?
Yeah.
You know
How
what I
does that
don't
whole
like?
process take?
How long?
Yeah, just.
I mean, not too long. It's just. I think it's as normal as anybody else. It's just that I don't put the conditioner in my roots because it makes your hair like flat and kind of already greasy when you come out.
Your hair's curly though, right?
It is.
So you straightened it just for us?
It's no, I straightened it like 3 days ago.
Oh, and it held up.
Yes.
Oh, you could have just said, yeah. I straightened it for you.
yeah,
Oh,
okay,
it tosses
yeah,
a
I did.
bone, you know?
Sorry.
Yeah,
Too honest.
She's like, a little while ago, my belly was hanging out. I'm taking a drink. Next thing you know, I popped up on
She got you?
She got me.
I did.
At least, I
It was
could have like
candid.
flexed a
It's
little bit or
on
something.
my Instagram timeline.
Oh, dear God. She's got like 1 million followers, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. All right.
You're Insta famous.
Let's see here. So the Super Bowl you've been to, we enjoyed it. Talk about 125. This is what I want to do. I asked you the question about 125. You shot it down. You said either 145 or 35, but right now you're saying there's no return to MMA. But I did want to point something out. Valentina Shevchenko, she's got a chance to have some pretty decent bragging rights, and I'll tell you why. Because if she beats Amanda Nunes when they face off, and if Holly Holm wins, she played it smart. Mm-hmm. She could say, I've beaten the 45 champ. I've beaten the 15 champ. No, she beat Joanna 3 times in Muay Thai. So I beat the 45 champ in MMA. I beat the 15 champ in Muay Thai. And I'm currently the 35 champ if she gets past Amanda. I mean, those are some pretty decent bragging rights. And then if they open 25, which you can tell she could make, she said it herself, like she really has a chance to like lay out a decent 2017.
Wait, who did she beat at 140? Who would she have beaten?
Well, if Holly Holm beats Jermaine,
Yes.
Valentina's got that win. Remember last year on the Fox show?
Yeah.
So she could honestly say, I've beaten the 45 champ. I've beaten the 15 champ. I'm currently the 35 champ. Open up 25, and I'm,
That'd be pretty amazing.
That'd be
right?
some kind of like some bragging right. If she marketed that right. I don't know. Valentina's very humble, and she doesn't seem to really.
Very likable.
She would be an excellent 125-pound champ, I think, because that's where she probably really belongs. She's pretty small. I think she always weighs in at like 133 or 134. So
yeah.
It's fascinating to see her do so well in a bigger division. But I always say speed kills. It's not always a bad thing to be the smaller fighter if you're fast and explosive like she is. She's so quick, that the girls have trouble catching her, I think, getting a hold of her.
All right, Vegas and Extreme Couture. Like, are you going to take any sort of a coaching role? You flew all the way down to Mexico to coach Nick Adali. Is that her name?
Nick Dilly,
sorry.
Yeah.
And I could have sworn there was another card that you were there as well. So as you're retiring, what are you going to do in his coaching? Maybe one of them. Because if I'm not mistaken, you kind of built women's. The women's team at Extreme Couture, or had a big hand in it. Right.
So I was down there and I was coaching and cornering Gustavo Lopez and Nick Dilly, who were co-main event and main event for Combate Americas. Yes, to answer your question, I do plan on doing more of that, but I cannot commit to it 100% because I'm traveling so much. It's not really fair to the athletes. Like, they need a coach that's going to be there all the time. So I kind of consider myself more of a teacher, I will show up and I will help them, when I'm there. But, coaching is a full-time job. And if I can't do it full-time, I can't claim to be a coach. But the girls know they can always call me up at any time and talk to me about any issues that they're having or whatever. And that's part of it. Mentorship, I definitely want to continue to mentor the girls. We have a great team. We really do. There's a little friend of mine, Cheyenne. She's still amateur, but she fought.
Melismus?
Yeah. You're familiar with her.
We called her Fight to Tough enough.
Okay, yeah, she's
from Florida, right?
Incredibly talented, and she just won 2 titles in the same month. back to back, pretty much. So
She's
really
legit.
promising. Yeah, 115 pounds. And I just actually, I'm actually beginning to manage fighters a little bit too. So, you know,
Oh, shit.
yeah, a little bit selective. Yeah, I don't want to have too many. I don't want to spread myself too thin. But I just got Gina Mazzani into the UFC. She's going to be fighting Sarah McMahon February in Nova Scotia.
You're a manager now.
Yeah.
We've done it for a while, right? Like
I have.
here and there.
Yeah, helped. So
I didn't know that. How'd you know that? Or
Because she booked someone on her show, being a manager.
well, I thought the fighter from Belgium, Cindy.
Right, Cindy. Yeah.
I didn't know you were a manager. I
Another
thought she
one,
was
too.
just your friend.
No, I help with that stuff. You know, I don't take any money from her or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, it's something that I've been familiar with for such a long time. I've been a part of the sport for such a long time. I know the ins and the outs. I know the ropes. I know the UFC contracts. I know how it all works. So, and I have a great relationship with the UFC. So it's natural and easy. And if I can, you know, help these young, hungry fighters, you know, get where I think that they belong, then that's great. It's a pretty rewarding
Your
job for
days
me.
must be nuts, huh?
Oh,
like
they're
the calendar.
crazy.
I'm surprised you're sitting here.
Yeah.
Fox Sports, are you part of a regular rotation? Do they bring you in only with women's MMA? Or are you going to be featured more often? Like, how would you categorize your position with Fox Sports?
Definitely featured more often, and I don't think it's only women's mixed martial arts, but obviously they're very interested in the insight that I have on women's mixed martial arts, and truly I feel like I'm more informed about that. I'm more informative. I can speak about it better than I can about the men's mixed martial arts. So I will be covering the Holly Holm versus Jermaine de Randami this weekend. So I'll be doing the Wednesday UFC Tonight show, Thursday Friday show, the weigh-in show, and the pre and post
All
fight
in
show.
LA, or do you
All
fly
in
to
LA.
Brooklyn? Okay.
Yeah, for this one it'll be in LA. So you'll see more, but you know, there's no even the guys who are there full time. There's not even a guarantee of them like how many shows a year because we don't know how many shows the UFC is going to throw. So
Well, I've seen a lot of DC and Tyron for sure, and then
Kenny
Bisping,
Florian.
Dominic,
and Ken
Flo, and then I guess Bisping was starting to become a regular. So I don't know what kind of rotation they work, but I've seen Benavidez, I've seen Ellenberger, I've seen even Koscheck had the one cameo. So I never figure out when they sign you, what it is they sign you to.
They just sign you to a contract that says, you know, we'll try to get you in as many shows as we can, but it doesn't it can't, you know, say how many because, like I said, you don't even know exactly how many they're covering. So
Gotcha.
yeah, but I'm glad. I don't really want to do it full time yet because, like I said, I'm so busy. I'm going everywhere. I'm going to Australia and Singapore on the 15th of this month. So like very soon, 10 days. So
What's
I'll be over
happening
there. I'm doing appearances at different UFC gyms and doing things that the UFC has put together. It's entirely their project. So they're having me fly out there from the 17th through the 25th. And then I'll also be going over to Europe in next month in March.
Same
Mid-March.
thing, UFC stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you feel pretty comfortable at that Fox desk, or do you still look back and go, "Ah, wish I had done this, wish I had done that"?
I'm always hard on myself, so I always, if I don't say exactly what I want or don't speak eloquently enough, I'm really hard on myself. So, and it's a different process. It's so weird to break and look at a camera when you're talking and then back. You know, you don't really think about that when you're sitting
Tell me
watching.
about it.
Yeah, it's like would be like if I'm talking now, all of a sudden I'm having a conversation with you guys, but I'm just looking at that camera. It kind of breaks the what I'm used to
This
in
is
the
weird.
conversation. Yeah, well, we have these little earpieces, so there's always someone talking to us too, and
Yeah,
like
I don't like that.
I know it does because it breaks
Are
your
they saying
conversation.
like stop
Yeah.
looking at goes, look at the camera?
Pretty
No,
much.
they
Look back at goes.
no, they're saying like wrap it up. You know, 15 seconds to break. This that. You know, and so you're in the middle of the conversation and there's like du-du-du-du-du. So you have
hard
to
to
get
pay
used to that.
attention.
Oh, it is. It's hard to and then sometimes you can't hear what the other people are saying next to you because the person in your ear won't like be quiet. You're like, shut up, I can't hear. Now how am I going to respond to what this person just
I'm
said
the
when I
type of
don't
person where
can't
if you
hear?
just break one little piece, I will absolutely forget everything I was about to talk about.
Right, and that's the other thing. So and then there's more homework because I have to learn really details about the fighters. But it's really fun and it's definitely challenging. It's really challenging, but I'm getting more comfortable and being able to do it more often helps a lot. I think I had a really good show the other week. I went in and I also covered the Rousey Nunez fight. Yeah. Nunez. Yeah.
Danny's really good. Our producer that we've talked to during the commercial. As you can tell, we go down to like the last couple seconds. He rarely says anything. Whereas other producers come in, they're like 2 minutes, minute and a half, a minute, 45, 30. I'm like, God, I got it. I can tell
You know how to
time.
count.
You know, And it does throw you
It
off.
does.
But
when you're
Danny's really,
in
really
the
good
middle
at
of a
it.
thought process, and you got someone talking to you and interrupting. Yeah.
All right,
little things.
I'm on a roll here. Do you have any you want to get in, and then I'll do some calls too. But she always, and then we get all them in, and then I'll get mine.
Run out of time.
We run out of time. So all right, so let's do this. They've been waiting. Kyle from the UK. Sorry, I owe him an apology. What's up, Kyle? How you doing? Sorry, mate.
Hello.
Hi.
I would like to ask Miesha Tate a question.
Sure, go ahead.
What does she think about Conor McGregor wanting to go to the boxing and fight Floyd Mayweather? And do you think that he has a chance?
Well, I love it. I think it's great for the sport. And Conor McGregor is, man, he's just so smart. He's a brilliant guy. And, I want to think that he has a chance. I do. I want to think that he'll win that fight. But part of me says as logic, when I look at logically, that Floyd is just the best in the world at what he does in boxing. And boxing and MMA are like apples and oranges. I mean, they kind of correlate, but they don't. So I don't know. I really think that Floyd would win that fight, logically. I would like Conor to win. I would be rooting for Conor to win.
It's funny because people talk me into him having a chance, and then I just think to what Floyd's done to Pacquiao and Canelo, and these are lifelong world boxing champions.
Yeah. And people get excited when they see Conor striking in MMA, which is he's so impressive at, clearly. But it's totally different. It's totally different. And the guys that he's fighting are not world champion boxers.
Right.
They are just, they're MMA fighters that have striking as a skill set, but they're not world champion boxers. And I just think that it's different, and it's on a different level.
We all got Floyd, Kyle.
Yeah.
Basically is what it boils down to. All right, let's go to Marco in Waco, Texas. Hello, Marco.
Marco from Waco, que pasa datos and Miesha Tate. Hey, Les Stongan, the whole Atlanta Falcons team, for blowing a 25-point lead and losing the Super Bowl. Hell, man.
Yeah.
Well, it is Stun Gun Monday, so start it off. There you go. I'm going to go further. I'm going to share my Stun Gun story in a second, but it's going to parlay off of that. But what else you got, Marco?
Real quick, man. So we saw this weekend the return of the Korean Zombie, and I'm so happy to see him back and up to zombie form. But, what are they eating in Korea? Is it Kenji? Because we got Super Bowl Duho Choi give us a fight of the ever fight with Cub Swanson. Maestro Donjon Kim and Stongan Donjon Kim, super action fighters. Yeah, we need to go to Korea more often. Forget about Japan. Korea is what it is, man. We'll leave you guys. Catch you guys next time.
See you, Marco.
Yeah, they got a lot of great fighters.
Well, they have
there.
great athletes. If you watch the Olympics, they always do well in the medals.
Yeah.
They've been great boxers back in the day. It
Yeah.
doesn't surprise me one bit that the Korean athletes are great at mixed martial arts. The UFC does need to go to South Korea, but I wouldn't go so far as to say leave Japan out of it. Japan's an amazing breeder of great combat sport. I mean, they have some of the best wrestlers in the world, men and women. The women's Japanese wrestling team, oh my God, they had some of the most exciting matches at the Olympics in Rio in 2016, and they were comeback wins like yourself over Holly Holm. I'm talking about last minute, last second type stuff. So there's some really, really tough athletes in both genders. So my stun gun story would be more towards, just to get more specific, and it sucks because he's going to coach our team. His name's Kyle Shanahan. He's the offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. They were on the 22-yard line with 3 minutes left. If you just run it 3 times, all right, and they get no yardage, it's still a chip shot field goal from 22 yards out. It's just 7 yards further than the extra point. You give themselves a 10-point lead. You knock time off the clock, or you force New England to call a timeout. Instead, what do? They pass. They took a penalty. They took a sack. The clock didn't move. I mean, you basically fucking teed it up for Tom Brady to come in and spike it right down your throat. So I think he has to bear some of that. Now, granted, it was his exciting offense that maybe helped get them to that point, but still, man, in the big moments, you got to make crucial decisions. He done fucked up. Stun gun Kyle Shanahan. Sorry, coach. You're not a coach of the 49ers just yet.
Yeah, wait till next year. You're stun gun him every week.
After that, I'll leave you alone. What do you got, Goes?
Remember last week when I stun gunned Belle Biv DeVoe for making that weird noise at the beginning of their song?
Yeah.
Well, I noticed that Ralph Tresvant also did something pretty stupid. And in his song Money Can't Buy You Love, this is his rap, okay? He's talking about, he says, I need new friends. I want to buy a Benz. That's stuff that people do with money, right? Oyster full of pearls, right? Pearls. Rolexes he's talking about. But to rhyme oyster full of pearls, he went with rack of new clothes, and then to rhyme that, he said, Achoo, Kleenex for my nose. That's the dumbest line ever in a song. It has nothing. Nobody has ever said, oh, he's got a Benz, he's got a Rolex, he got Kleenex. Nobody says that.
Right.
He just panicked and said,
So
he
had a
sneezed
mind-
in the middle of the song.
He had some sort of a mind block while he was writing, and he goes, fuck it, let's throw them in
Yeah.
there. They'll consume my records. I hate
Pretty
it when
much.
they do that. I've heard that before.
Achoo, Kleenex for my nose.
All right, so you're stun gunning Ralph Tresvant. What about you, Danny? Who do you stun gunning?
I'm stun gunning, I guess, my house's next door neighbor. And here's a really short story. We don't have that much parking spaces like on our road. It's all free for all. And for some reason, we have a double wide parking spot like right in front of our house.
Hey, Danny.
And
you know the rule, though, right?
Hey girl, what you doing? Hey girl, where you going? Who's that girl? Who's that girl?
It's Danny.
Yeah, anything that has to do with Danny's home has to have that song. Go ahead, Danny.
Okay. So my neighbor, I guess, wanted to make sure that if people were getting crazy during the Super Bowl, that nobody dinged his car. So he, instead of being able to have two people park right in front of our house, he parked right in the middle and just made it so much harder for everybody else to find parking spaces.
What kind of a car does he have?
Oop, wrong button. Stun gun.
Stun gun. He has Escalade.
That's kind of a dick move.
That comes a little bit with that type of arrogance. All right. How about you, Miesha? You want to stun gun anyone from the last couple weeks, from any of your travels? Usually airports are good spots.
Yeah.
The gym, the freeway, but could anything come to your mind?
No, you know what? It's not the last couple of weeks, but it's still worth a stun gun or two. Daniel Cormier, I'm gonna stun gun Daniel Cormier in DC.
That's what's up. I like
yeah,
that.
That happens a lot here.
I was eating pizza, and that jerk came up to me and grabbed it and threw it in the garbage.
What?
Yeah.
That does sound like something you do.
Yeah, I was like, what?
What was the move there? I don't understand.
I don't know. Like, he just thought he was being funny, and like, you shouldn't be eating that. I'm like, nobody tells me I don't eat pizza. Like, I eat pizza. I love pizza.
Did you have a box where you could just go back and get another
Well,
one,
that
or
was the
was
other
that
thing.
it?
He was like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go get you another piece. It opens a box, it's all gone.
Ooh, stun gun him twice. DC, what are you doing, dog?
Right? And I was so hungry, I hadn't eaten all day. I was like, I'm gonna kill you.
Did you get even?
Yeah, I went and threw his food away.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so, paybacks, it is what it is.
Ooh, all right. All right, let's go back to the phones. Josh from Ontario. What's up, Josh?
Hey, guys. Miesha, thank you very much for coming into the studio. I got a quick question for you. It's about the contracts. Recently, there's been a lot of talk about contracts and the structure of them. I just want to get your opinion on the structure of the contracts with the show win structure. Because Ryan Bader made a comment last week or the week before saying that, if you were just guaranteed a certain amount of money, that it would take people would just let it go a little more. People would, take people down less. Like, he was basically saying he would have more exciting fights and more fan-friendly fights. I just want to get your comments on that.
That's an interesting concept because I've always that's an interesting concept. I've always kind of thought the opposite in the sense that like people would fight super hard to get their win bonus. I mean, that's kind of what I always thought. Like, oh, you get to double your money if you win. Like, oh, I better win. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But so I don't know because I feel like maybe if it was just flat, the people would be like, well, win, lose, I make the same. Like, I don't really have,
But let's say you're up 2 rounds, and then that third round, you're like, oh, if I just survive, I'll get the win bonus. So they're like,
yeah, but
not going
what?
for the finish.
Honestly, okay, so let me even back up, even to boil it down even simpler. I don't think that people are thinking about that when they're fighting. I don't think they really care. Or at least I don't. I didn't. It's like the most important thing to me was the win on my record and, moving forward and what I wanted and my goals. So I don't know. Like, I feel like the only time that money really comes into it, situation where it could be motivational is if you're really hurting for money and you need to win because you need that bonus. Other than that, I don't think fighters think about it really at all. Like, I think it's just about that moment and being competitive, and they don't think about it until afterwards and they get their check and the medical's clear, like, damn, that's only half my paycheck. Oh, you know, or they maybe think about it before, but during the fight, I think all that goes out the window. I mean, you have someone trying to kill you across the cage. Like, I don't think you're thinking about, well, if I just hang on to get double my paycheck. Like, I really don't think they think about that, honestly.
Yeah. All right.
No,
that's true. I know I'm talking about, like, I guess leading into the fight.
Yeah, but does that really like affect any? You know, I don't think so. I think winning is just the most important thing. So if they're cruising in that third round because they've dominated the first two, I guarantee you it's because they just want to win. They're not thinking that third round. If I just hang on, I get double my paycheck. Like, they're not thinking about that.
All right. I will say this. I know we have to go to commercial. What I always said was, let's say a fighter makes $100K to show. And $100K to, so this is to show and this is to win. I think what they should do is do 100 to show, and then do 50 to win, but 75 if you finish. I think a finishing bonus. I've seen it work at Victory Fighting Championships, right? Ryan Stoddard.
Yeah.
And he says they have like an 80-some% finishing rate because they're going for it. So your incentive would be the UFC would lose an extra 25 because it would be a total of 225
right
instead of 2. The UFC would lose 25, but that finish would be brilliant. And then if they only win but don't finish, then it would be 150. So in some cases the UFC would win. They would make out, and in some cases they wouldn't. Maybe eliminate all those extra bonuses altogether and just put it up for every fighter so that if there's 10 finishes, everyone's getting something. And the UFC is going to get something. Also, the smaller cage provides more finishes than the bigger cage. However, I don't know if the UFC wants to go down that road. But finishes, man, I'm telling you, finishes are such a key for the fighter themselves, for the promotion, for the fans.
Yeah,
it should
I
be looked
agree
at.
because they're already giving out $150,000 in bonuses as it is.
200.
Oh,
is
it
it's for
performance
bonuses
because the
or
fight
the
of the night is yeah. So they're already doing that anyway, so they might as well do it the way that you said, to encourage. I like that.
Now
idea.
you're going into imagining. I'll give you my little idea there. You can take it in there. All right,
okay.
Let's go to break. Danny, play that music. You're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Brush 93. We got Miesha Tate in the house. We got about a half hour left, so if you want to call in, it's your last chance. 866-522-2846. Or is it in a safe? Or
I just have it in a safe.
Oh.
Yeah.
Frank Mir walks in with like 5 of them. Frank Mir, he's got them here.
King Kong has a lot of shit on them. Like a lot, especially Goes. Here, Gorgeous George and Goes.
All right, we're back and we're going down the home stretch of another fine edition of MMA Junkie Radio. We do this show 2 hours a day live from the Race and Sportsbook here at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. Stop on by and pay us a visit. The show starts at 10. It ends at 12. You can get here, put the mics on. We got some mics on. Headphones on. We got a fridge full of cool water.
Sometimes
we
we
even
put the
have
mic on.
a slick coffee maker. Yeah, and if we do have some time, we'll put you on the mics and have you co-host a segment with us. All right, Miesha, so I have a couple more, and then I'll be done.
Okay.
Kevin Harvick, you still with that team?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. What's it been like for someone outside of the MMA realm to handle a someone's career?
The best, honestly. Like, I feel like they're so much better at it because they're used to dealing with corporate companies and NASCAR and the PGA and big sponsors like Budweiser and, Hunt Brothers Pizza. Like, these are really big companies to work with. So they're just so much more on top of it than anything I've ever experienced. So I absolutely love working with them, with KHI.
I was joking about social media earlier because I know you have 1 million and some followers on Instagram, 500,000 on Twitter. What's your Facebook? Like a couple million or something like that?
Yeah, I haven't checked recently, but it's over 2.
Right. So what I want to ask you, I heard the Kardashians and some select athletes get paid for their tweets or their posts. Now, granted, I know they're in the millions, the astronomical millions. Like, I think Ronaldo's got 100 million Facebook followers. But are you to the point like that that people will pay you for posts?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I've done quite a few. A few paid posts.
Is that pretty lucrative, or is that just just
like a few grand?
Really?
That's nice.
Wow, the power of social media.
Yeah. It's pretty.
And so you have to approve. Obviously you're not going to be saying.
Yeah, and I
white vans near schools.
No.
The bomb,
yeah, and I don't like. I will turn down offers that I don't believe in, like, or if I don't like it. Like, there was this one thing that was like a face icing, this and that, and I'm like, I don't believe in icing. Like, I actually don't believe in it. So I was like, I'm not going to promote. I'm not going to.
Is that the migraine thing?
No, it wasn't anything for that. It was like to promote like healing and stuff, and it's just like, nah, I don't believe in that. It's supposed to take away inflammation, all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, I can't like promote something that I don't believe in. So like, it was like $2,000, but I was like, I'm not going to post about that. I can't. So I don't want to be false in my posts. I don't want people to feel like, I'm just trying to push product for money. Like, it's not my style. So it's like, I really have to enjoy it, used it, tried it, or I will turn the offer down.
And then how was that breakfast with Dana? Like, that was on the verge of you saying, fuck you, you're not my boss anymore. Days later, you're there. But then you got the Fox deal. And you were just telling us right now that in a managerial role, you think you'll excel because you have a great relationship. So obviously, was the breakfast something to squash it, or did the media and the fans look too much into the fuck you, you're not my boss anymore comment?
Well,
Which he, by the way, didn't seem to really take to heart.
No, because I was pissed, honestly. I did not want to go to the hospital because I knew I was fine. And I'm like, this is going to ruin the rest of my already ruined night. And it just really pissed me off that he was like, you have to go. And I'm like, why? It was like, you guys didn't make me go to the hospital when I fought Amanda Nunes, and she messed me up. Like, she damn near knocked me out, choked me out, and then like I had a broken nose. I didn't have to go to the hospital. And in a fight that I barely got hit in, you want me to go to the hospital. Why? Like, it's just stupid. I knew I was fine. I did not want to go, but they like forced me to go. He's like, I'm going to leave the venue right now and come find you, and don't make me do that. I'm here with my family. I'm like, then it just, I was pissed. But no, it was, he understood. He's really cool. I mean, I think Dana's, one that's flown off the handle a few times himself. So he's pretty understanding. In those situations that fighters are heated and I did not want to do what they wanted me to do. So I literally just left the building, and like, they were trying to like chase me down and stuff. I was like, I'm out. I need to go to the hospital.
Was the breakfast, did you know someone was taking a picture? Whoever caught that picture of you two having breakfast like a day later?
No, but it
Or, like,
was
people
actually
sneaking?
dinner. It was actually dinner.
Oh, it was dinner, okay.
But we had taken pictures with a couple fans, so it doesn't surprise me.
Oh, I see.
They had noticed us, but yeah. No, I didn't know that they took
Some
that,
fans
but I
are
didn't really care.
sneaky, man.
Yeah.
Like when Rhonda was dating Travis and nobody really knew it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
There was a fan who, the way he was positioned, was taking a picture of his daughter. And the daughter was cute in the picture. But right behind is Rhonda and Travis is mean mugging, so Travis caught on to this, and Rhonda's looking at him like, oh, shit, we're out, you know? Like, that was the first public thing that had ever been published. So that's why I was wondering if, like, if you knew,
No, I
like,
didn't
there's
know.
people watching or whatever.
I didn't know, but I knew that we had been recognized, you know, so it doesn't surprise me, but whatever. Like, it's not, you know, not a crime. Have dinner with the boss and, like...
No, that's not what I meant. More about, like, is that pretty much where you hashed it out? And is that maybe where you got your Fox opportunity? And
yeah, because that whole meeting was to talk about what's next, you know, and
Did he try and talk you out of retirement?
No.
No, okay.
No, he's really cool, and he actually paid for my surgery, for my nose surgery, you know, because I was like, I can't breathe, and I've had it broken so many times, at least 4 fighting, at least, and it was broken in 7 or 8 spots.
Ooh.
So it was, you know, cosmetically, I didn't really do a whole lot, except I just wanted to narrow it a little bit where it was like before it was ever broken. That's all I wanted to do, and then be able to breathe. So I'm about a month out from that, coming up on 5 weeks, yeah. So healing up. You know, but that was pretty cool. I mean, it's the things like that. Like it's like if you're good to UFC, they'll be good to you. And he helped me get that spot with Fox, and now I'm managing and everything. So, yeah.
What would have been worse if you would have woken up and it looked like Michael Jackson's?
Oh gosh.
Or Gonzo. No, that's too much.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah. What would have been worse if they flubbed up that one?
Oh.
Man, you looked at me. I thought you were gonna go or goes. I was gonna say fuck you.
Goes is a nice nose.
Or so if it was like bigger or small. Oh yeah. Oh, was it?
I wonder if
hard
Michael
question.
Jackson.
Stuff like that
You think
happens,
Michael
though.
Jackson knew what he was getting into? Like, you think he looked up and said, "Motherfuckers, you guys went." The first one on Off the Wall wasn't so bad.
So I
but when he
feel like
kept going, I don't know what the fuck.
That's
was
what
there.
I'm saying. I think more would be better because I feel like I could go less.
Strip it down from there.
Yeah, like if they messed up, I'd be like, no, I'm going to another doctor. They're going to fix it. But if you take away too much, I don't know how you like bring it back. So I guess I have to go more Gonzo style.
But stuff like that happens, right? Like you've seen people that are gonna get a leg amputated and they get the
Yeah.
wrong one. It's happened before.
Yeah, for sure. I've heard about
It's
That's
wrong.
why people write on their.
It's
on their
scary
parts.
because it's your face.
I know.
It's like there's no hiding it. Like you know,
Do
they
you,
mess up.
Miesha, do you ever feel like a lot of people say the 145 division was made just for Cyborg? Do you feel like if for some reason you were to say, you know what, I would come back only if there are 125, do you feel like you have that type of power where they could possibly make that division just to get you back?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah,
I think
you do
so.
it?
Can I do it? No, I don't want to make 125. I don't
Yeah.
want to give up pizza. I don't want to give up cheese. I don't want to have to cut that much weight. Like, no way. You know, I just don't. I don't care. It's so hard on your body. I'm sick of it. Like, the last thing I want to do is get that small. You know, I'm happy walking around at 148, 150. I'm good. Stay right there.
Let's take some calls. They've been waiting for a while. Showtime in Tennessee. What's up, Showtime?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's
and
up?
Miesha.
Hi.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this, Miesha. I had the pleasure of meeting you when you brought Cindy to the studio. I think that was last year. And I was just happened to be in the studio. I missed my flight. I actually missed 2 plane flights that day and came back to the studio from the airport. And I was like, wow, I just happened to be here. And you came in and I got a picture with you. And when I want to play the celebrity card, when I'm sitting there talking to some guys, talking MMA, and just showing them a couple pictures, I always show everybody that picture. And they're like, wow, you met Miesha? And so a lot of people know you, so your celebrity star has risen a lot.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan of yours, so I think you'll
Appreciate
be successful in whatever you do.
I appreciate that. I'm a gold digger, so I hope so. And that's goal without a D.
Oh, I
Not
was
a
going to
gold digger.
say.
Oh, yeah,
No,
so I thought-
goal.
You sure you want to
Okay.
rephrase that one?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I had to
gotcha.
specify just so you guys know. Not a gold digger. I'm a goal.
A gold digger.
Gold digger.
Got it.
Oh, hey, speaking on that, I saw George Goals. I saw your guy, I guess Miesha's buddy too, placed a big bet on the Falcons yesterday too. I was shot
Yeah.
Goals a picture of one of my one of my friends' brother-in-law betted 140 grand on the Falcons, man. And another guy here that's owns a car dealership dropped 100K on the Falcons. And man, I know that was miserable.
Yeah, it's funny because when you gamble enough, you're going to have these stories that are just letdowns, heartbreakers, and then there's some obviously great ones. You really never share the bad ones, but now with social media, people put it out there. So, yeah, your business is their business. But that's got to be a gut-wrenching loss. I'll say this much. One thing I do believe in is a little bit of the karma. And if you're up, just keep your mouth shut. You know what I mean? Let the game play out and then flaunt afterwards. If you already put out your bet first of all, then you'll get the respect. People saw what you did before the game. And then during the game, if you have a lead, just let it go. You know what I mean? The minute you start chirping about it, it seems like that's when all of a sudden the tide turns and it just can blow up in your face.
I agree.
Dave, we've met Vegas Dave a couple times. I don't know how to take him because I've never
met him here on the show. It's the first time I met him.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never had much interaction with him plus outside of the show. So I've heard good, I've heard bad, but I can't really form any I can't tell you anything else about him. But I can say is I think you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And I remember at halftime he was tweeting, "What's up now, haters?" and "Come talk to me now," and at the end of the game, man, it's just got to be a rough pill to swallow.
Right.
Yeah, so.
That's crazy.
Whatever.
Who saw that coming? What was it, like 30, how many, 30 points unanswered?
I think it was like 31
unanswered.
like that.
How many points unanswered?
31
unanswered points, yeah.
Whew.
Showtime, got to get to some others, man, but thanks for the call, all right?
Okay, great show, guys.
All right,
Thanks.
see ya. All right, Professor X. What's up, Professor X?
Coming at ya. Good morning, Miesha Tate.
Good morning.
Man, I am so bummed, by the way, that I didn't get to fly out there just to meet her. I'm jealous of Showtime. Hey, sticking with Goza's New Edition theme, guys, in the immortal words of the great Ralph Tresvant of New Edition fame, not an overrated band, by the way, if it isn't love, why do I feel this way? Gigi, I have two quick questions for Miesha. May I?
Sure.
Go ahead.
First thing, Miesha, are you related to the great Jeff Tate of Queensryche fame?
I have no idea. But I feel like Tate's a pretty common name, so I doubt it. It's not like it's a rare,
All right,
rare name. It's
he's
not like
from your area, right?
Shevchenko,
He's from
like how many
Seattle?
Shevchenkos are there?
And, Miesha, we've seen Leslie Smith do some stuff with Invicta. Will the UFC allow you to do that? Because I think you'd be great doing that too, guys. As always, guys, it's great. I can't believe I missed Miesha Tate, honestly. I'm really bummed, guys. And like that. Whew.
All right, we'll see you, Professor X.
Yeah, I have done a little bit with Invicta, and I don't see any problem if I wanted to do something like that. I mean, Invicta and the UFC work very closely. Invicta is on Fight Pass, and Shannon Knapp, the president of Invicta, is friends with Dana, and they've known each other for such a long time coming up to this business. And when she threw her first show, he sent her a nice congratulations card and some flowers and stuff just to say you're doing a great job. And so I know that they have a great working relationship. And I don't think that would be any problem if I did go that direction, which I like commentating. It's fun.
Well, you did it a couple times.
I did it a
remember.
couple times, yeah.
And so Julie Kedzie seems to have stepped in that role. Is that what it is? She's the color commentator now?
I think so. I think that she's doing less matchmaking because I think it's kind of personally, I think it's a conflict of interest to matchmake and then to commentate the fights.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of weird because sometimes it makes her sound biased, and maybe even if she's not. Even if she's not, when you're talking about it and maybe someone's doing really well and you're just praising what they're doing, it sounds like maybe you made that fight because you wanted that person to win, and it just doesn't look good sometimes. So I think it's better that Invicta goes, I think Caitlin Young is doing more of the matchmaking side of it now, and Julie's doing more of the commentating, I think that works out well.
Gotcha. All right. Got to take this break. When we come back, we'll finish up with some calls and any last questions that Goza and I might have. I'll scan the Facebook chat one more time. Again, you're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. Tanya from Pittsburgh, Donna from Ohio, Clearwater Beach Bad Boy. We'll get to you next.
You know that scene in Star Wars where Darth Vader tells Luke he's his father? What if I walked in right after with my voice and was like, I'm your Uncle Walter. Can I get a lift home? That'd be crazy, right? Anyway, here Georgian goes.
I'm getting a kick out of this post on Facebook from Zach Helm. Miesha made her pro debut in her first ever women's Grand Prix in Evansville, Indiana, for Jeff Osborne and Hook and Shoot. March 4th will be the last ever Hook and Shoot. What are Miesha's thoughts on her experience?
Man, you got to be thankful for that guy because he was the original supporter of women's mixed martial arts. Gave us a lot of opportunity. Definitely gave us a platform to put women's MMA on the map a little bit. So very thankful. And I'm kind of sad to see it go. It's kind of sad because it was such a big thing for women way back in the day. It was a very, he was very highly regarded. A lot of women are very thankful that he gave the opportunity.
Couple calls here. Tanya from Pittsburgh. What's up, Tanya?
Hi, I'm so glad I got through. Hi, Miesha. I'm such a huge fan.
Thank
My
you.
husband and I actually just got married, and we're such huge MMA fans that we had our entrance to the UFC theme, and we just got a new puppy and just named her Gracie Kimura. So we're huge MMA fans, and I'm so grateful to get through right now. And I know my husband's listening. Hi, honey, I love you. But, Miesha, I truly am a big fan, and I just wanted to get your opinion on something. The last fight that they had over at Bellator, the Tito fight, there was a lot of controversy around that, claiming that it was a fixed fight. What do you think about the Tito fight, honestly?
Well, first of all, congratulations. That's exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. No, absolutely not. I do not think that's fixed at all. I think it's ridiculous that people even think it's fixed because, honestly, if it was going to be fixed, it would have been a lot better than that. That was not even really a choke, honestly. He wasn't in a deep choke. He was uncomfortable. And I think Chael just didn't want to be in there doing that. I think Chael's honestly checked out. And when you're checked out, you're checked out. And he picked up a good paycheck. He did a great job promoting the fight. But if they were going to fix it, don't you think it would be a full-on rear naked choke? Like they would have practiced it or something, be like, hey, we're going to make this look good so people actually believe it's not
the one
fixed.
Winning. It's the guy that would be continuing with the organization.
Yeah,
it
it's
wouldn't
like,
make sense
why,
at all.
Why would they would make it look good? Like if it was going to be fixed, they wouldn't want people to question it being fixed. It would have been a full-on proper rear naked choke that nobody could question it was done. But the fact that it was kind of this halfway choke makes me be like, no, it was. There's no way it was. There's no way it was fixed. It's just that Chael didn't want to be in there anymore. He's checked out.
Thank you, Tanya, for the call. It's great to hear from you.
Bye.
Right, bye-bye. Let's go to Deanna in Ohio. What's up, Deanna?
Hey, guys. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for calling.
I have a question for Miesha.
Okie dokie. Shoot.
First off, actually, I want to say that I'm really glad I was able to see you fight live. Before you made the decision to retire, I got to see your fight against Jessica Ai in Chicago a couple years ago, and that was awesome.
Thank you.
But my question is, do you have any input on the new rules that were implemented by the UFC this year? Do you agree with them all, or are there any that you don't agree with for whatever reason?
Yeah, so the biggest one I understand is like the weight bearing on your hands, to be able to knee to the head, right? I mean, it has to be like there has to be weight on the hands, right? Is that correct?
Two hands, yeah.
Yeah,
as long
like
as
two
hands are
hands.
touching, you're grounded.
Yeah, and it can't just be like your fingers. Like it has to be like.
I'm not sure about that.
From what I understand, it's not just like this.
Okay.
Like you have to be like on your hands, like on your hands. So I like that better than before because this is just a strategy that some people would use to kind of play the game of trying to get a point knocked off someone for DQing. So if you're going to be down, make the decision to be down. If you're going to be up, make the decision to be up. I think it's that easy. So I do like that rule. However, it needs to be consistent. There's still a couple of states that are not. I think, was it Texas is not?
New Jersey was wavering on a couple.
Yeah, which is weird because they usually kind of go with the flow.
They've usually been one of the big four along with Cleveland, Nevada, and
it's got to be across the board.
Either way, it's got to be consistent because you don't want fighters training a certain way and then you're fighting here, so it's not that way. It's got to be consistent across the board. Was there anything else that was changed? Was there
Yes. Now the 10-8 is going to be scored, I think, a little bit more often and freely.
I like that.
Then they also had no grabbing the clavicle. And no kicking with the kidney if you're on bottom of the guard, which John McCarthy basically said, that shit ain't happening anyway.
Yeah.
And then
And you have to keep your gloves
fingers.
closed, so you can't have your fingers
Yeah, you know
out.
when you're standing there, they want your fingers pointed upward
Yeah.
or closed.
Yes.
But there's no like sticking
Right.
them out.
No, that's great. I like all that. I think that's smart. They're making some adjustments that are good, positive. Yeah, so it's
Great question, Deanna. Excuse me. Great question.
Yeah, thanks for answering.
All right, thank
Yep.
you. Do you have a couple minutes? I want to ask you just a couple
Yeah.
more. All right. So this is what we're going to do. Danny's going to do the thing where he basically clicks us off. In 10 seconds, we'll start off, and we'll do one last call. And then we'll also have an interesting anecdote that Miesha was telling me during the break, and I want to expand on that because I thought that was pretty cool of, her and Dana White and the breakfast the dinner that they had and what came out of that. So you're listening to MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. Give us like 15 seconds and we'll literally click back on. Don't go anywhere.
Viva Las Vegas with your neon flashing and your one-arm bandits crashing. All those hopes down the drain. Viva Las Vegas turning day into nighttime, turning night into daytime. If you see it once, you'll never be the same again.
Guys are clear for overtime.
All right, let's do this call first, and then we'll go to, and I want you to finish out the story you were telling us about the recent surgery you had. Clearwater Beach bad boy. Well, where have you been, Clearwater?
Fellas, Clearwater Beach bad boy checking into the program. You know, the Clearwater Beach bad boy has lost the clout on this program when he's pushed off the first hour, then the second hour. Now he's in overtime on internet radio, guys. The Clearwater Beach bad boy feels like he's back in hook and shoot.
No, hey, listen, we could have easily bounced, but we decided to stick around. We're taking this last call, and then I have one last story to share, but we'll make it a quick one, man. What's going on?
Appreciate it, guys. Listen, the Clearwater Beach bad boy just got a new condo over on Twisted Wood Drive, guys, but that's not why I want to talk to you. Listen, I have seen Couture come and go, Tito now come and go. We've seen the Dan Severns, the Gracies. And, you know, Miesha Tate and I have had a little bit of a love-hate relationship on this program. But I have got to say, in all honesty, you know the Clearwater Beach bad boy usually doesn't compliment too much. I missed her. Like, she hasn't been gone long, and she is – I've got to think back all the years I've ever watched this sport. The only fighter who I'm like, damn, she's, like, done. Like, I actually miss her. And that's kind of crazy, guys. And I think everybody is going to start. I don't miss Rhonda. She never comes back. I don't give a shit about Gina Carano and her bad movies. I really am going to miss Miesha Tate. But I got a kind of stun gun here real quick. Speaking of movies, please stun gun Rob Hawk for me. Do you guys know who that is?
No.
The director of Fight Valley.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he makes shitty renegade movies, guys. Let's stun gun that bastard. Now, listen, I lost a $100 bet because of Miesha Tate, and I want to tell you why, and I'm going to let you go because I've been dying to ask her this for years. I got a buddy who's a cop in Lane County, and for years he told me he pulled Miesha Tate over. I pulled that girl over. I arrested her. I did all this kind of stuff, and I never believed him until probably a few months ago. He said that she kept getting caught. He says she doesn't have a driver's license. Is that true or not, Miesha? Are you driving around the country without a driver's license?
Where?
Thanks for the
Where
call.
Caraway is.
Where is Lane County?
I don't know. I was going to ask the same thing.
I don't even know.
Do you have a driver's license?
I do have a driver's license, and I remember one time it was in Washington State. I got pulled over, and I don't remember exactly the details, but it's possible that I had a suspended license. That's possible that I didn't pay a ticket or something. I'm not very on top of that kind of stuff. I'm
Saw
getting
what
a
happened
lot
to Lindsay
better.
Lohan. She got to like about 18, and she had to.
Oh yeah, I know it was
do,
only
like,
a one-time.
24 hours,
It
right?
was like a one-time thing, and I just paid the ticket, and I was like, I didn't even know. You know, you have your license. It's not like your license changes and says suspended. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, you know,
you have to fix it.
you're going through the traffic light tickets or whatever, and don't pay that, and then all of a sudden, oh, your license suspended. You know, so possibly that, but I'm not exactly sure where Lane County is, to be honest.
All right.
That was like in Tri-Cities.
To finish out the nose story, the recent surgery you had, you said that Dana White kind of stepped up and helped with that. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, so I had wanted to get my nose fixed before my last fight, actually. I'd been wanting to get it
Before
fixed for a while.
Rocky.
Before Raquel. I wanted to get it fixed because I couldn't breathe very well. It's like at night I can't breathe that well, and training I can't breathe that well, and I can't, in fighting obviously don't breathe that well through my nose. So I was like, I really wanted to get it fixed. And they were going to take care of it, but Lorenzo was like, yeah, we'll take care of it. But Dana was like, don't do it. Like, he was like adamant, do not do it. He's like, I had the nose surgery. It's going to put you out for too long. You may not even fight again. Don't do it. And I was like, really? I really want to do it. He's like, don't. He's like, I'll tell you what. I'll make you a deal. When you're done fighting, if you don't do the surgery now, I will make sure you get the best doctor and get it taken care of and when you retire. So he obviously made good on his deal. He actually paid for the surgery, and that was pretty cool of him. It was pretty awesome.
So he got you more of like a top-notch surgeon?
Yeah, in Beverly Hills. I went to one of the best surgeons that does all the Hollywood stars and everything like that, and yeah, he totally took care of it. So
well, if he didn't do that, what would their insurance have been able to cover?
And the insurance just would have covered very basic. They probably would have had a very basic doctor come in and just try to straighten my septum. But the fact that it had been broken so many times and it was broken in 7 or 8 spots, like it needed more than just that. So I appreciate that Dana was looking out and really wanted me to have the best doctor and best outcome.
Is that one of those scenarios where you pull the gauze and it just keeps coming out?
Yeah, it was so gross.
Phil Baroni said that's the most painful thing he's ever had.
They rolled mine this way and then put it in. So when they pulled it out, it wasn't like they had to pull like a long string. They actually rolled it the other way and put it in, but it was horrible. Like the first day and a half before they took the stuffing out and had a hard cast on my face, and the swelling got worse, so it was like digging in, and you can't breathe out of your nose, and it's just so hot and irritating. Never want to go through that again. It was horrible.
Damn, that is crazy. All right.
Yeah.
So the last thing, and just to finish up, we went to commercial, and I guess we didn't finish it when we came back. Just again, man. I mean, I know 2016 was rough because you lost. You left the sport on a losing note. You retired, but Jesus, you did start off with a UFC world title.
Yeah.
That's so awesome because you had the Strikeforce title, the UFC title, and then the way you came back to do it, it was an epic moment. It was literally like jump out of your seat moment for a lot of people, including Goz and I.
Right.
We're not shy about our biases. People say, "Oh, you got to be." You got to be more objective than subjective. Like, too late, man. We started off as fanboys on this sport. That's the way we are, you know?
Late.
Plus, we're fucking in Las Vegas, and we see everybody, so you can't help but, like, start to care for someone and like someone and become friends with people. So Tavares, we root for him, and
of
you
course.
and even back in the day, Cub Swanson and George Masvidal, who we sponsored, we were doing things the wrong way, but that is our history, and that's it. So, I mean, it was just an incredible moment in March. When you won that, I remember just jumping out of my chair. You really needed to do something in that 5th round in terms of a finish, and you fucking did it. You dug deep, and you did it. Like, that was a great moment.
Thank you.
In women's MMA, probably us covering the sport, it was great.
I couldn't jump out of my seat because the guy next to me lifted me up. That's how out of control that whole arena was.
That's so awesome, and I appreciate that. That was definitely the highlight of my career for me, that moment. Coming back, there's so much adversity, and I'm not sure if many people really remember this, but I got brutally head kick knocked out. I fought a tournament, so I fought one fight against Jan Finney, and it was my pro debut, and we actually went 4 rounds instead of 3, which was crazy because the commission just...
Bodog?
Yeah, it was Bodog. It was crazy because there wasn't a commission, so they were kind of like, well, I don't know, well, let's just have them go another round. Well, one of us had to fight later. Long story short, Caitlin Rose Young, who I was just talking about as the Invicta, she kicked my head off, and she totally knocked me out, and that was a big learning point for me. So to be able to, it was literally like Holly Holm and Ronda, like just boom, out. She ragdolled me, but to be able to come back from something like that, come back, win, learn from it, win the Strikeforce title, take a loss from Ronda, bad injury, come back, move up the ladder again, and win that UFC title. It's just kind of symbolic of that fight was symbolic of my career, and my career is symbolic of my life, in that there's always ups and downs. Nobody wins at life all the time. You just got to, take the losses in stride, take the learning, and learn from those things. And so for me, that was a pretty epic year. I don't don't regret any of it. I feel like I learned a lot, and I have transitioned. I actually prefer that as opposed to retired, because retired implies that you're kind of just done. It's like, no, I'm not done. Maybe I'm done punching people in the face competitively, but I'm just transitioning into other things.
We put you in our, well, at least in mine. I don't know if Ghost co-signed or not.
Mount Rushmore?
Mount Rushmore, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what Mount Rushmore is, right?
Is it
the
like
4 presidents in South Dakota?
Yeah.
So you have 4 of the great ones for women's MMA, and I thought you, with those 2 titles, deserved it. Rhonda, she had 2 titles, obviously carried the sport on her back for a while.
Yeah.
I thought Cyborg has been amazing, and I thought Gina Carano was the other one.
Yeah.
I thought Megumi Fuji was great for a while, but major titles to that level, I think, was something else. I think she had a chance in that Bellator tournament that Zoila Frosto won.
Yeah.
But after that, she got pecked off a couple times. So
yeah,
you
she
made
started
your mark in
really
this
young.
sport, man.
Yeah. No, I hear. Yeah, thank you. That's quite an honor. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I think Amanda's making her way through. I think maybe I don't know how long Gina can hold on to I was there at the beginning. Royce Gracie gets a little bit of that love when there's male Mount Rushmores. But anyway, thank you so much for your time.
Always.
2 hours of your time. Incredible. At Miesha Tate on Twitter. Give her a follow. And Miesha, if there's anything you'd like to plug or say on your way out, go ahead. Now's your time.
Just tune into the Miesha Tate Show. You guys give me a little bit of love there. It's on iTunes, or if you have an Android, I don't know, Google it. You'll find it. There's plenty of applications to listen to it.
What's the consistency going to be of the show? I saw there was a drop-off in October. You picked it up again in January.
So we kind of revamped it so that we can start adding video into it. So I have all that equipment set up and everything. So it will be Monday releases. And eventually what I'm aiming for is the first Monday of each month. But this one I think is looking like second or third Monday of February. And then we're just going to work into Miesha Monday. That'll be the theme.
Oh, nice.
And that's not John Mahoney from the Frasier show, is it?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
No, actually, this was a fascinating interview of a brain cancer survivor. There's a 2% chance when you're diagnosed with brain cancer that you're going to survive. And his diet, with the ketogenic diet, it's just really crazy how he feels like his diet and exercise may have helped him survive brain cancer. And there's actually some substance to it.
Wow.
Kind of makes
We'll
sense.
have to check it out.
Absolutely.
All right, so the Miesha Tate Show dropping first Mondays. We're trying for first Mondays of every month. And like I say about everybody else that's on here and talking about iTunes, give them a review. Those 5 stars helps. It helps with the algorithms and everything. So give Miesha Tate a subscribe and a review. All right, Miesha, thank you very much.
Thank
and tomorrow we'll be back with Alistair Overeem and Felice Herrig. So for Goes and Miesha and Danny back east, I'm George. Go out, have a nice day, and be champions.